Thai. Today I have one of the WBC regional title challengers, Eric Aguilar, fighting out of Greg's Martial Arts. Welcome, Eric. Thanks for being on.
Hi, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Of course. Um, yeah, no, we're excited to have you on the card, and obviously it's a stacked event with four title fights, and obviously you're one of them. So congratulations on having that spot. What do you think about, obviously this event is relatively new, and we're a year in. This will be the third event, and it's gaining more recognition, and now more putting some titles on the line. So what does it mean to you after being kind of like you've been training and competing in the region for some years now, and
Yeah.
now this is going to be your first time on Maryland's Muay Thai amateur athletic circuit. Talk a little bit about
So one thing I will say is you all did a great job of making this event happening. The whole promotion and everything with passing, Muay Thai in Maryland.
that.
You guys did amazing. But then you stepped it up another notch by adding the WBC to it. So it brings more attention from the East Coast, and I love it. I love the way what you guys are doing. You keeping it traditional. That's really nice. But yeah, it's just I never expected a WBC title. A title shot. That's my first title shot in America, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's an honor and I appreciate it, especially to my opponent. He's good, So I appreciate him saying, hey, he could pick anybody else, So it's gonna be a good matchup, guarantee it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, since you brought it up, yeah, talk a little bit about your opponent and the matchup and how you're approaching this one.
One thing I know about my opponent is he fought my teammate Vincent.
Hmm.
And Vincent Romano. So I
Yeah.
was in that camp, and Vincent and I've been training partners for a couple years. Um, so I knew at that fight, I was like, you know what? I think I can get this matchup within like some time. And you can ask Vincent. He even said he's like, you're crazy. I don't really know. He's like, but go for it, go for it. Always believe in yourself. He's always been supportive. But he said, oh, we'll see. And then sure enough, I woke up right after WKs, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even know it was for a title. I just saw the name. I was like, let's fight, because I like fighting short notice.
Uh,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
long
So
ago was that? How long ago was that Vincent fought him?
that was right before he left to Thailand. So
Hmm.
he's been there since last December. I believe it was in November when they fought. It was a
Okay.
good matchup too, but it was only a 3 rounder.
Hmm.
Vincent's very good at 5 rounders.
Hmm.
So, he's more traditional style, but Vince amps it up. He starts amping it up. So it would have been it was a good showing to see. And I was like, wow. And Octavian's tough too. He's very intelligent. He's a very intelligent fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, experienced and technical out of a good camp
Yeah.
in the House of Muay Thai. Uh,
Yeah.
so, um, talk a little bit about. I think you have been through a couple different gyms in the region, right? You're training out of Greg's martial arts now.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. So Greg and I have known each other for a couple years now. With Vincent going overseas and living out there, distance kind of parted everybody's ways. So
Uh-huh.
I ended up going to Greg, and I was like, Greg, look, man, this is my vision. This is what I need. And it's been just amazing. But the good thing about our area is there is like, specifically where we are, there's a lineage of just the OG fighters that are coaches now.
Uh-huh.
Thankfully, I've met the right type of people that have passed me on, and they've all been great mentors. So I'll shout them out at the end. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
of
just
course.
some amazing people. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's really how it is. And then I've been with Greg. Greg, he has his own little studio where we do our thing, and it's a lot of one-on-ones.
Hmm.
However, Greg has a lot of experience on his own career at that every single time that I feel like I'm accomplishing something in the fight game that's like gonna one up him. As your coach, you always want to like one up your coach. Some fighters say, I always want to beat my coach in sparring. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Greg's a big guy. Like that's never gonna happen with me and him. He's just gonna kick me through a wall. However, every single time I get close to an accolade of his, he's like, man, and then he brings up something that I'm thinking internally
Hmm.
that he went through, and I'm like, man, this guy, man, it's another thing. So I'm like, I'm always humble by him. He's very humbling himself too. However, he's a very good coach, and I appreciate everything he's done for me in America.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's yeah, I was talking to one of your teammates this week, and yeah, he talked a little bit about how it's, a little bit different than your traditional gym setup since you guys are kind of moving around and
Yeah,
doing more kind of private training.
yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
really good.
but yeah, it seems to work. You guys are all doing pretty well, so that's good. So tell me a little bit about some of your fights that you've been in this past year, and also you've kind of been back and forth to Thailand. I think you were in Thailand and fought in Thailand earlier this year, correct?
Yeah, I fought first in 24. I think it was March or April of
Hmm.
24. That was my first fight out there. And then I've been going back and forth every 5 months for about a month or 2 months. Yeah, I've been
Uh,
disappearing, going back and forth for the last 2 years.
okay.
And I dove deep into it, and yeah, that's really what it is. But I fought back in March, and then I went back to learn a little bit more, came back, competed around here, and then I went back in May just recently, and I fought for a title out there, and that was a hectic fight. That was a good fight. Very experienced Ty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, very experienced. I learned a lot, and when I came back, I've just been even regardless of whatever the result is, like it's always a good fight.
Oh yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
you start leveling up, and that's why I'm excited about this fight because I mean, we can go meet up tomorrow and go fight. That's cool. No offense,
Uh-huh.
I love this sport in the aspect of like testing myself.
Yeah.
So like, I'm kind of have like that Goku mentality. So if I fight somebody who's better than me, I level up. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. So I'm not. I don't duck fights. It's just let's go. You know.
Yeah, that's the way to go about it. And
Yeah.
with events like this and other events, in the region, hopefully more of that will be happening, and we'll all kind of up the
Yeah.
level of the community as a whole.
Especially with MTAC.
Uh,
MTAC is
uh,
just this alone is a big thing, especially for that big gap. Because
and
all we have is Freedom's doing amazing too,
yes,
and then you got Warriors Cup, but Warriors Cup is all the way up north, and it just
little
stayed.
honey. Uh,
Freedom goes everywhere, but
yeah,
MTAC, it's kind of like Maryland has like its thing.
yeah,
We're right for the Mid Atlantic area, so everybody's got to pass through us. So it'd be
yeah,
cool, kind of like gatekeep like the talent going through,
yeah,
up
yeah, for
coast. Yeah,
sure.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just having more places for local athletes to compete, because yeah,
yeah,
not everybody can always travel
exactly.
as readily. So yeah, and hopefully in time, the more people here can gain experience and up their level, like you said, when you go back to Thailand, you're more and more competitive.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah.
what's some of the thoughts you have on training and competing in Thailand versus here in the States? Obviously, some
Um,
differences.
it's if you watch enough fights there, when you go live, you see everybody in the stretcher in the back. And at that point you start realizing like, oh, this isn't point sparring. This is like life or death. Like honestly, it is. And everybody doesn't have like everybody says, oh, I don't have an ego, but you kind of have to because I have a son. So if something happens, I'm doing this for fun,
Yeah.
but it's not a game when I get in the ring. And that's what everybody has to be because it's life or anything. You get hit some type of way. I've seen some guys have like flashes. They'll tell me that they after a concussion,
Yeah.
years after one, bad one. So that's the main thing. You see the reality of it, and it doesn't matter how hard the training everywhere you go is actually the same. It's more of where you kind of fit in.
Hmm.
Like I can tell you go this gym, I can tell you go to that gym, but it probably wouldn't work for you.
Hmm.
It's really what you go, how you feel, how you connect with a crew,
Hmm.
and then you just go about and you see how they can, navigate. I know really really good fighters that they've switched over to 4 or 5 gyms, and then they're at one, and now they're on RWS or one championship. So it's what works for you. But you got to go out there. You got to be open minded. Definitely. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite gym now? I think you mentioned on your social that you've spent some time at Lana Muay Thai and FA Group, to name a few.
Yeah, I've been to FA. Lana's really good. Lana's up in Chiang Mai.
Uh-huh.
They're all their boys. They're anywhere from the age of like 8 to 23, maybe the eldest like 23, 24,
Hmm.
and they're all in the Bangkok circuit.
Hmm.
So when you go there, it's you're fighting, your sparring partners are only Thai. the ones that are competing. So you level up, and they'll play with you. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But if you want to go that extra level where you want to, get a little bit humbled, which it always happens, it happens to everybody, they have a lineup of guys for it. And that's in most gyms too, except,
Yeah.
but Lana's great. They're a great gym. They have a great program. Boone has done a great job up there. And then in Bangkok, I have my main gym. I train at an MTA with Pudia. I train boxing out of him. That is he's a Iranian style boxer.
I see.
Yeah. And so shout out to all my boys out there. I love y'all. I go out there and I get black eyes. So yeah, I get dropped a lot of it. Those boys are good. They're very good. Yeah. But yeah, that's my gym out there. And then I have connections with my friend Philippe. He does his own thing out there, but he's a trainer at a PK Sanchez, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, at a PK. And I've worked with him. He's very good. I just have a good mix. But like I said, this is what's worked for me. My learning style is different. Most people can't do, like, even with Cam. Cam and I, we 99% of it. I mean, not 99, that's too much, but like we're more accountable for what we're doing, and
Mhm.
or behind. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We have a coach that keeps us accountable, and that's what he's built with instilling into us.
Mhm.
And so I really appreciate him for it. That's the best way of saying it. Like he has a good program, and I've learned just to be very accountable, especially when you go overseas. You can skip practice because you're alone, and you can just post the gym on Instagram and
Yeah.
say you're there. You know what I mean? But then
Mhm.
you're missing like 3 weeks of training because you're just out playing around on a scooter.
Mhm.
But over there, it's really helped out because, Greg's even over there, he'll call me, we'll talk. And, he's like, oh, XYZ, just talk about life. And then I go right to training. But yeah, it's a lot of just being accountable, especially being out there. You have to be accountable, even on your diet, because the food is amazing.
Oh, right.
It's really good. Yeah, the
Yeah.
food's great, and you can slack, especially if you got something coming around. But the climate over there is so hectic to train in
Yes.
that you can tell when you've slacked on your diet.
Mhm.
And then you'll see like you're training with athletes that are real serious, and you on your off day is not a good time. Like you have to be on point because they're never slacking. If they are, it's after a fight with them. They're
Yes.
very, yeah, they have another level of intensity over there when it comes to like the mental game.
Mhm.
Not just running 100 miles, it's doing the same thing like every single day, the meticulous things. And that's just the little things that I've learned. And I'm trying to instill it in every single fight. I see you're like, oh man, okay, okay, now we're gonna try this one. But yeah,
No, that's some really cool context about, yeah, how they approach their training and their discipline. You mentioned not cheating on the Thai food. What's your favorite Thai dish over there?
man, to be honest with you, I like a lot of their hot pot. So their hot pot's really big. So
Mhm.
they have like the Korean style hot pot here in America, but
Right.
over there they have like a chain. I believe it's called MK, right?
Okay.
All right, and try it out. I'm telling you, it's really
Okay.
good.
I don't think I've
It's
done.
like a broth, but it's not like your typical broth. It's like a green tint or like a yellow tint. It looks funny, but then it's like a hot pot. You just throw stuff in it. But believe it's Chinese hot pot style.
Okay.
However, it's really good.
Um,
Over there, yeah, anything, all their hot pots are very underrated. Definitely, the locals love them. They love them. So yeah, I have a lot of friends out there that have taken me and introduced me to these things. It's really great. Yeah.
yeah, that's good. I think I visited at least one place that did the hot pot, but I don't remember the name of it or if it's the same style that you mentioned, but
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's in like every mall that you go to, like shopping mall.
uh,
Like they have the called Big C's out there. It's like your Safeway here or something like that, or Giant. But those are like Walmarts. They're like mega Walmarts, but they always have one attached to them. Amazing. Literally, it's really good.
Um, do you have, let's shift back to fighting, and we've covered a lot here, but you mentioned training at some different gyms with some different fight styles. Do you have like a favorite skill set or fighting style?
I mean, I could say that, right? Like everybody says I'm a puncher. I
Hmm.
like boxing. However, whenever I fight, you wouldn't really think it because it's always different.
Yeah.
It's really it's in my brain at that point or what my instincts feel.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I would say I I've learned that you can't just go off just one. You have to learn them all. and you have to suck at every single one of them.
Yeah.
So for me, I've at least tried my best to stay away just from focusing on one style. I
Hmm.
know it works for me, but you got to play with everything, especially defense.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
boxing is definitely, I think boxing is the one thing that I've taken very seriously.
Hmm.
And I've noticed that it's just, for me at least, it's definitely helped me out. And if you've seen my previous fights and then this year's fights, I fought a lot this year. So you can see that it's definitely changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember watching you fight earlier this year in was it April at TCB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. TCB. Yeah.
Did some solid work on the legs there for sure.
Yeah. That was my debut after with Greg. So that
Okay.
was a great fight. Like
Yeah.
mentally, that was a great fight, everything. And we took that short notice because we had another fight that was supposed to come up before that got pulled out. So it was just us just trying to get on, trying to get on the ball. But once we got on, we haven't came off. It's always been, I thought this is gonna be my seventh fight this year, I believe. Seven, yeah, seven. So seven, yeah, seven fights, yeah. Yeah,
What's
so it's
what's been your toughest challenge you faced so far in fighting?
Thailand, May.
Uh,
That
but
was my tough.
anything specific about it that made it challenging other than obviously a quality opponent?
Myself, myself, honestly. Every fight I've lost, it's always been by decision,
Hmm.
And I'm not saying anything past that because this one fight it was bad. It was a good fight. I mean, I put it online. I got dropped, but that fight, I was winning the fight. I was literally winning it, and just one little slight mistake like this, boop, and that was it. And that's what it costs. It doesn't matter. That's why I say you can't like really do underdogs here, and that's why I respect Octavian. Because who am I? But it would be a good matchup. Stylistically, it's a good matchup. So anything can happen with a slight little mistake, and
Yeah.
that is what's the opponent. He also talked to me at the end, and he just said he was like, "We're talking about everything." I told him how I'm American. He just said, "It's like just keep training." That's all he told me. He's like, "Keep training." He's like, "I like your style. Like keep training." It was fun. It was a very fun fight, and apparently he's very active up there, so it was good.
Yeah, that's a huge compliment, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then just flipping around from that, what's been your proudest moment so far? Competing or just training in general?
Honestly, it's cool seeing my coach happy. I
Mhm.
don't, I, you know, Greg is a very, he's not a hard pleaser. He's a very goofy person. You ever talk to Greg? He's the most kind-hearted person in the world. But when it comes to, he's ex-military, so he takes his passion seriously. So to like us talk about a game plan and it just something else happens, and it's almost like it's either like some type of wild move happen in the ring or something, just to see his eyes light up. I'm like, oh man, like this is cool. It's definitely a good feeling fighting for somebody like that. He's just it's good to see that what he's putting his passion into is passing on, and that's come from like another generation of local fighters too, which is really great. You know, this is a group of like just his accolades. He has a lot of I believe he was a Taekwondo in the military.
Mhm.
So he did stuff like that, traveled, and he just has a lot of knowledge. He's very good. But yeah, that's one of my best moments. Is this year so far is the funny stuff that he says, win, loss, draw, doesn't matter. His feedback is hilarious. And it's always good. It makes me just want to keep fighting. I'm like, honestly, because after you fight, you think you did really bad.
Uh,
I think everybody that's competitive, we think we
yeah,
suck.
right.
So then like it doesn't take maybe till a month after a fight where you start looking at the highlights and you're like, oh, you're like, oh, this is crazy. So that has been happening a lot,
I'm looking
especially
forward
us
to.
being a small gym.
No, I'm looking forward to some of the corner video shots here when you fight.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some
Shout out
scripts.
to Kevin for that one. He was helping out that night in TCB.
Oh, okay.
Took the shot and he sent it to me. He
Uh,
said this is a good shot, man. And so thank you. Shout out to him. Yeah, he did great with that.
Good. All right. Well, yeah. Speaking of shout outs, go ahead. Anybody else you want to mention or
So definitely
other
Greg.
shout Go ahead.
Definitely Greg. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Definitely Greg. Pudia, Philippe, Boone. In the DMV. there's a lot of names, but Rolando definitely. I love you to death. You know, Rolando has been he's been a big brother to me, and he's him, Greg. They're all just old time friends
Mhm.
that used to train together back in the day, and Tony from Ubon, that's a good friend. Even Abraham, you know, Steve. And then my training partners. And if I miss you, I'm sorry. You know, it's been a lot like that. This is a it's been a even Vincent, you know, that's my boy too. But it's been a good group of solid people, small little network of us, and it's more like a lineage of like just a style.
Uh,
And it's just been cool things been passed on, mentorship, and everybody just clicks. So it's not like, you know, I just want to shout those guys out because they've had their hand in a lot of athletes in the area. And, you know, I don't think they get enough praise. You know, everything that's going on, everybody wants to kind of be on top. But the really humble fighters that I think are amazing, I don't know, they're so good that I don't think it bothers them. However, it's just like they're amazing. I wouldn't be anything, honestly. I wouldn't even they even give me guidance when I go overseas. That's why if anybody, my opponent TCB that I fought, I believe his name is Brandon. He DMs me and we
mm,
go back and forth. And he's going to Thailand in October. And I told him this is where I think you should go or where
uh,
I think you should do. But I've been helping him too. You know, that's just how it is though. That's
yeah,
how fighting, is, especially overseas. The guy that I had a war with in May. After that, he followed me on Facebook, and we still chat back and forth. So
uh,
it's really funny. Yeah,
yeah. No, it's great to see how all those connections continue to be made and you know, establish more and more connections as it goes. But no, I appreciate your time, and you know, we've gone a little bit longer on this one, but you have so many great stories to tell, so I'm glad we got to explore a little bit
yeah.
about your story there. So yeah, no, great shout outs, great history there, and you know, wish the best in your training camp, and really excited to watch you perform on November 1st.
Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for your
Yes,
time.
yes, yes. Chokti.
Yep.
All
Thank
right,
you.
take care.
Bye.